Toddlers are using mobile devices and tablets at an almost universal rate. The American Academy of Pediatrics released those findings Monday. 97% of families surveyed said their children use a smart mobile device before their first birthday. 75% said their children have access to those devices. The American Academy of Pediatrics used to recommend 0 screen time for children younger than 2. But the guidelines have changed. Dr. Yamalis Diaz is a child psychologist at the Child Study Center at NYU's Langone Medical Center. It's great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
When you talk to parents about how their children use devices, especially toddlers and apparently even babies, what's your recommendation?
My recommendation is for parents to really focus a little bit more on what their young children are doing online, a little bit less on the amount of time, though I think that's certainly important, because the more time they're spending on devices, the less time they're spending doing anything with their families or with their siblings or with their friends.
I'm a mom of 2-year-old twins, and I know that if I need 10 minutes to hop in the shower and I need my children to be safe, there's no better babysitter than Dora the Explorer.
It's a good one.
For just that little bit of time. But because the recommendations were no screen time, I always felt a little guilty about it.
Right. Well, I think those guidelines are actually going to be modified fairly soon. And I think one of the things that we're noticing is that we sort of have to drum with the times, right? And so we know that no screen time is probably unlikely to be realistic for working moms, for busy dads. So it's all screen time is not bad time.
The other thing is they have an enormous amount of choices in terms of apps where you can see animals and hear what the animal sounds are and read the animal word. And not only in English, you can read it in Spanish or in Chinese or in Japanese or in Portuguese.
Right. So, you know, mobile devices really give kids and young toddlers access to information and different kinds of experiences that we didn't have before. So it really is not all bad time. One of the things we need to be focusing on, though, is how much parents are monitoring and managing what their kids are doing online.
Okay, so would you have a problem with this? I've seen this over and over again in New York City. Someone pushing a stroller, in the stroller a toddler with an iPad or some kind of tablet on their lap, not paying any attention to the world around them, to focus solely on the device.
As a child psychologist, I think I'd be focusing on a few more things. What were they doing before they got the device? How much time have they spent on the device to the exclusion of some other interaction? And what are they going to be doing after?
What are the warning signs that there's too much use of the device?
Certainly, if kids are having trouble developing language, cognitive development, they might be missing opportunities to develop other neurological and cognitive skills that they're not getting access to because of the experiences they're lacking. Again, the real focus is on what they're not doing if they're spending so much time online.
What about this incredible, I mean, I think it's incredible that 97% of parents say their children have used a device before their first birthday, so as babies. But secondly, what about the sheer number of parents who say that they give their children a device in the bedroom to go to sleep with?
That we definitely wouldn't recommend. We know that there's emerging research to suggest that the exposure to that light at least an hour before bed could really impact the sleep rhythm by impacting melatonin production.
Dr. Diaz, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate that.